Hi everyone, and welcome to Cinematic Chats, the channel where we explore how film weaves together emotion, meaning, and message through sound and image. I'm your host, Rima Vanwari, and today I'm diving into two incredible films that may seem very different on the surface, but share surprisingly deep connection in how they tell their stories. We'll be talking about In the Mood for Love by Wong Kar-wai and Uncle Boonmee Who Can Recall His Past Lives by Apichatpong Weerasethakul. Let's start with a quick introduction to these two filmmakers and their work. First, we have Wong Kar-wai, a Hong Kong director known for his emotionally rich storytelling, made In the Mood for Love in 2000. It's a film about two neighbors who slowly realize their spouses are having an affair, and as they spend more time together, they form an emotional bond between them. But here's the thing, there's nothing really big that happens. There's barely any direct confrontation or dramatic action or much of a plot. Instead, the film uses subtle yet prominent glances, silences, shadows, and lingering shots in narrow hallways. On the other side, we have Apichatpong Weerasethakul, also known as Joe to some major fans. He's a Thai filmmaker whose 2010 film Uncle Boonmee Who Can Recall His Past Lives won the Palme d'Or. This film is part ghost story, part spiritual meditation, and part magical realism. Uncle Boonmee is a man who is dying of a kidney failure, and he begins to see figures from his past, starting with the ghost of his dead wife. Later, his long-lost son appears as some sort of monkey spirit. The film doesn't follow a typical plot structure either. Instead, it meanders gently, letting time, memory, and nature flow together. So, you might be wondering, what actually ties these two films together? Well, firstly, both of these films are incredibly high-profile art house films and are perfect examples for what I want to tell you guys. My main argument is that both of these directors use visual and emotional storytelling to create powerful cinematic experiences. Rather than relying on dialogue, heavy scripts, or fast-moving plot twists, they use lighting, color, camera framing, silence, and pacing to guide us through the story. Let's break this down with some examples. First, we have In the Mood for Love. I'm going to play part of a video thanks to Nerdwriter1 on YouTube.
Is a frame within a frame, meaning that every single shot featured characters not only framed by the rectangle of the film itself, but by smaller internal shapes as well. And this is a visual technique that filmmakers have used for decades. My favorite example is the great last shot in John Ford's masterpiece, The Searchers. But seldom is it used so ubiquitously. As the film went on, I had to cross out 5 from my little note and change it to 6, 7, 9. It wasn't until minute 12 that I saw the first shot without some foreground obstruction. This shot, which crucially doesn't feature either of the two main characters.
So, In the Mood for Love, the color palette is rich and emotionally charged. Deep reds, dark greens, and warm ambers dominate the screen, evoking feelings of longing, secrecy, and nostalgia. The characters often appear framed in doorways, mirrors, or behind glass, which visually emphasizes the emotional and physical boundaries between them. And the music? It's the melancholic waltz that plays again and again, reinforcing a sense of repetition and missed connections. Thank you to Nerdwriter1 on YouTube for the compilation of the video. These visual barriers emphasize the boundaries that are both physical and social that separate them, even as their emotional connection deepens. By often positioning the characters within or around doorframes, the film visually suggests that they are always on the threshold of something more, yet never able to fully cross into being intimate lovers. The repetition of scenes where they pass by one another in cramped hallways or pause in doorways without speaking highlights their isolation and unspoken desires. These missed opportunities between the two reinforce the aching tension that defines their relationship. Through these simple yet powerful visual choices, Wong captures the painful beauty of longing, of being close yet close enough to touch, but forever holding back, hugely through the visuals and sonic storytelling. Now we'll talk about Uncle Boonmee.
Is a frame within a
So, on the other hand, in Uncle Boonmee, the visual world is more natural with lush forests, soft lighting, and long, still takes that allow you to feel the weight of time passing. There's a spiritual tone throughout, helped by the minimal sound design of long silences. The supernatural isn't treated with fear or excitement, it just is. And that quiet acceptance shapes the film's emotional storytelling. So, what's really happening here? These directors use film techniques to evoke powerful feelings from the audience. So let's take a better look at the trailer to understand what I'm talking about.
ตาอายมันเป็นหยังอายมื่นตาอยู่มันเป็นหยังจักว่าบ่เห็นหงมีหลายอย่างอยู่นอกบ้านเฮาตอนนี้ ที่ว่ามันนั่นมันคืออีหยังล่ะ
วิญญาณกับสมสัตว์ที่มันอดอยากมันรู้สึกได้ถึงความเจ็บป่วยของพอ
โอ้ยแม่นเจ้าบ่
Already, in the first 30 seconds of the trailer, we can see how quiet the film will be. The naturistic noises are emphasized in the trailer, and Uncle Boonmee, the man narrating, is talking in a quiet and ominous way. The trailer tells its story using calm, quiet images of nature. The lush green forests feel alive and full of mystery, showing how closely the film connects nature to memory and the spirit world. The soft lighting gives everything a peaceful, dreamlike look, making the scenes feel gentle and slow. These visuals help set the mood without using much talking or action. Instead of telling the story with words, the trailer lets the forest and light speak for themselves, showing the film wants audience to feel calm, thoughtful, and open to a quiet kind of storytelling. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's about rhetoric, the way film persuades or communicates with its audience. These films use what we call visual rhetoric. They make meaning through color, space, light, and time. Even when not much is happening, in the plot, a lot is being felt, and that's what makes them so fascinating. So let's talk about the significance. Why am I even talking about this? Well, today, because of fast-paced and action-filled content like on Netflix and short-form content like on TikTok, these films remind us of the stillness and calmness that also makes a great impact. They show us that film doesn't need to be loud to make a difference, that visual rhetoric and how a film looks, sounds, and moves can be just as persuasive and dramatic as a plot twist or powerful monologue. So, if you're interested in how film can speak without saying much, like how silence, stillness, and subtlety can be as persuasive as dialogue, my channel is for you. Thank you for listening to Cinematic Chats. Be sure to subscribe and check out the video essay when it drops. Thank you.